Hello viewers and welcome to another edition of our women's program Karimpe. Well, today we are gathered here once again with my panelists and we are going to speak about a very important personality in the family, in the society, and she is none other than the mother. Khalil Gibran had once said, "Mother is the most beautiful word that is used by mankind." And true enough, because mothers have always been celebrated, have been upheld not from now, but from the ancient Greeks, the Romans, and even in present day India, we have festivals that honor, that celebrate the goddesses, and that is the mother goddess. Well, in the modern period, I guess the precedent of celebrating Mother's Day or understanding her role, etc., I think it began since the 20th century when Mother's Day used to be observed as Motherhood Sunday. But then it again got changed, it got a more secular form, and today we have an exclusive day that is marked out by the UN every year, that is on the second Sunday of the month of May, which is reserved exclusively to understand, to uphold the role that the mother plays in our lives. And why not? Because we all are mothers, and many of the mothers who are watching here, I think we truly deserve a day to be reserved for us, isn't it? Because the kind of role that the mother plays into our lives, the values that she upholds, and what we become, I guess we are the shadow of our mothers. And today, to once again recognize the important role that a mother plays in our life, we are being joined in the studio today by three of our panelists, and we will be talking about the role of mother, the values that she imparts, and how these values percolates down to the society and makes all of us a better human being. And to tell us all about it, I have with me here in the studio, right ahead of me to my extreme right is of course Dr. Caroline Walang. She is the assistant professor from the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication from English and Foreign Languages University, Shillong. We are also being joined by Ma'am Monidip Sen. She is the head of the Department of Sociology, St. Mary's College, Shillong. And beside her is Rilanglin Karpuri. She is the Media and Learning Resource Manager from Martin Luther Christian University. So there you have it, a beautiful panel here to discuss about this beautiful personality called the mother. Well, we will come back to you in a few minutes from now, because right up we have for you a short video clip, and after that we return. So stay back.
Say the word mother and immediately 1,000 images conjure in our minds. A helping hand, good food, warm hugs, kisses, and all things love. Different names: May, Bay, Ma, Amma, Mummy, Mom, I, all give us the same warm, fuzzy feeling whenever we call them out. It's this feeling that the month of May is specially devoted to mothers. We remember them with gratitude and love. So to all the mothers, here's a big shout out to them. They need not have born children, but to those who raise them, we see you and acknowledge you, and we love you. Happy Mother's Day.
Welcome back, my dear viewers, and of course a warm round of welcome to each one of you. Thank you so much, ladies, for sparing your valuable time and gracing the studios of Doordarshan Shillong, and to talk about, as I said and I have been repeating, the most important person in our life, the mother. We agree to that, I'm sure, each one of us.
Of course, we do agree to that.
Yeah. So let's begin with Ma'am Monidip. Ma'am, you teach sociology, but I'm not going to go into your subject today. But you are also a mother.
Yes, true.
how important is this role to you? You know, what is it that as soon as I say that you're a mother, what kind of feelings conjures up within yourself?
I think I would say that this is the most important role I play, because as you said, the values that I transmit, and in the creation of the next generation, it is my role as a mother that comes into the forefront. And should I do this job well, I can hope that I'll leave behind the next generation, which will be, which will take off where we leave off, and be an asset to society. Should I botch up my role, then I will leave problems for society. And I think no mother wants to do that. Every mother wants the best for her child, to equip them in whichever way possible to face on life after them, with them initially, and then later alone on their own. So of the many roles that a woman is called upon to play, I think my role of a mother, I would say, is the most important.
Absolutely, and I'm sure that every moment of it you love it too.
I would disagree with that.
Okay.
We do have our little problems,
okay,
especially when you have, children who are grown up, who think on their own, and we don't always see eye to eye. But I respect that.
Absolutely.
And I think that having allowed them to grow in their own way, and also have a mind of their own, which may not be exactly as you see things, I think that's also an accomplishment.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
You know, Carolyn, you're also a mother,
Yeah.
right? Tell us, how special is motherhood to you?
Oh, it's very special. I have 2 kids, and the older one is 13. The younger one is a girl, she's 9. And talking about motherhood, I can see that myself. There is this change in me when I wasn't a mother and now that I'm a mother. You have that responsibility towards them. That even if you don't want to do also something, but they are there for you, and you feel that it is my duty to do it. So somehow you have this feeling that to make them comfortable, you go to any extent. And many a times you don't expect anything out of it. You feel that you're doing it out of love. So then this is also, maybe we can say, it's inbuilt, in a mother. But again, talking at the long term, a mother has to sacrifice so many things, even for her career. You look at the family, when you have a job, it is the mother who has to sacrifice for the family, but the father of the family, he can continue his job. So if you have small kids at home, the mother will go to any extent. She will spend more time in the kitchen. She will spend more time, in being with them, in helping them with the homework and all. So again, I used to see this kind of a gender division. How much a mother puts in the family and how much a father puts in the family. Well, I'm not saying that the father does not put in, but many a times, what are you doing? Now, thinking in terms of those mother who are not working, and many a times, you tend to hear saying that, what do you do the whole day at home? What do you do? You don't work. You don't work. So I mean, how do we define work? How do we define work?
Yeah.
How do
so
we
we will
work?
be coming into these, different slotted roles that we play, because, all of us, all 4 of us are professionals in our different fields, and yet we have to balance. We come back home and become a mother again. I come to you, Reelang. You are a professional, working, have very important assignments, I'm sure. But what is most important also is that you're a single mother.
Yes.
That is exciting, it's challenging. How is it for you?
I think as a single mother, I come from a very privileged, and there's a whole very large spectrum of single mothers, of course. There's those who don't work, there's those, who are unemployed, and then those who come without zero support from family. But I come from a very privileged section where I had a job, and kept growing, and then I had a very supportive system at home with my family, and even my extended family, my sisters and my brothers, my cousins and my aunts. So that way, yeah, you have struggles, yes, but then those struggles are diminished, but then there are other types of struggles that come with it, the sense of responsibility and the sense of, you know, am I enough? Am I teaching him enough? Am I, you know, am I making
Doing,
sure
the right
doing
thing,
enough? Or, and then there are these burdens that you have on a regular basis of, you know, these thoughts that you can't speak. If, no matter how close your friends are, no matter how close your families are, you can't talk to them like that unless it's a partner who's also going through that same thing. So those are the things that are challenging to me, yes. But other than that, I think, you know, the fact that I come, you know, I have a very supportive system at home and even with my friends and even colleagues, and the fact that in our university, they have a very, I think single mothers or even mothers in general are treated so well in our university. We even have, like our chancellor has, we had this whole section where even for leaves and all like that. So we have 5 days a year where we can take leave for single parents. So there's a section for
that's
single
very
parent
nice.
leaves. There's a section for like family care leave. Then there's a section for women's leave for your, you know, every month if you want to take a leave. So there are things like that. So the place where I worked has also been such a huge support to me and such a privilege to me to be able to work there. And you know, sometimes I don't feel like I am a single mother, but you know, even though I am, but then I think this support system around me has
really
helped
helped.
me.
Yeah. It's so wonderful to know, you know, and you're very lucky in that sense,
Yes, ma'am.
because not everybody has
Yes,
that support
yes,
system
true.
and such a supportive
Workplace, yes,
workplace
definitely,
even
yes.
also, right? And well, but then you are speaking on behalf of so many single mothers that we
Yes.
have in our present day society. But what is so, you know, beautiful is that you are, you know, you're like carrying forward the flag so well,
Yes.
you know, because you have to play both the roles, you know, both the roles. And as you also said, ma'am, you'll agree that we as mothers, we don't want to speak outside unless we are very comfortable to speak about our problems outside our home. We will still keep it very protected because that is what we are. A mother plays a very protective role. Yet we have to balance. So can you tell us, you know, the balancing role that the mother plays, because surely you have been doing that, being a professional and then going back home and doing the chores of home.
Yes, true. So I think that balancing act that every woman has to you know, face is more for being a woman, and I think it's to an extent I'd say less for being a mother, because even if you don't have children of your own, you take on the role of a mother, in a mother figure in your family. You may not be actually mothering children,
Right.
you may be even mothering pets. You are a pet parent.
Right.
So I think that comes from being the role conflict that we have as women, because we supposed to juggle so many roles,
Yeah.
and so some of them so varied, you know. So
And we are supposed to be good in everything. That is the
absolutely,
expectation.
absolutely. So earlier on you mentioned about, you know, the worship of the mother goddess, and you know, the mother goddess is often depicted with 10 arms. So I always, from the time I was a child, I'd think of her as having to juggle so many roles.
Right.
And you know, even God understood that she needed 10 arms to do everything together and to be able to be good at everything. And yeah, so you know that, and as women we have to manage, we have to juggle, and I think we also are gifted with the ability to manage
Yeah.
those roles.
Yes.
I think excuse my saying so, but I think a man would go under with that kind of a burden, but a woman
Would
somehow
buckle,
manage.
yeah, would
Yes,
buckle,
yes,
but
yes,
we don't. And that is
absolutely.
what I was coming to, actually, Caroline, because, you know, all of us were girls. We are still young, of course, but we were younger. And, you know, mothers we became, and we did not have really a handbook, a guidebook. So we learned it from our own mothers, you know. We followed, we observed keenly right from our childhood. So, you know, that kind of values is passed on, right? So how much of that value from our grandmothers, our mothers, etc., is passed on to us, and that plays a very crucial role to
Exactly.
the role that we play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you this incident. Maybe it can explain everything. This morning, Mother's Day. So what happened? My little girl came to me.
Okay.
So she says, "Mom, happy Mother's Day," and I'm very, very happy. So she handed me this card,
Okay.
and in this, I don't have the card here with me. In this card, it says, "Thank you, Mom, for being a very strong mom. You are my sunshine. You are my sunshine." And what was the other one? "I will be there for you no matter what. I will be there for you no matter what." And she asked me this question: "You'll be there for me, right? No matter what?" I said, "No matter what, you'll be there. I'm going to be there for you." So she says that one more thing: "I'm going to love my kid just the way you love me." That struck me.
Yeah.
That struck me.
Yes.
I did not expect this kind of a thing from her. She's just 9 years old. But she says, "Tomorrow, if I have a kid, I'm going to love him or her just the way you love me." So I turned back and I looked at her and I said, "Oh, yeah?" He said, "Yes." And then I see, this is like what you said earlier, how the values, how we passed on from a grandmother to a mother, and then me to my child. And that kind of a thought process unconsciously is there in her head already.
Yeah.
That tomorrow, if I'm going to be a mother, whether biological or not, so I'm going to love my kid just the way she is, because I accept. I have this feeling that first thing, as mothers, we need to understand, we have to treat our kids like they are adults. We talk to them like they are adults. So they understand that. And one belief, my principle where I stand is that I don't own my children. I don't own my children. They have a mind of their own. They are complete
individuals
They
of
are
their own.
individuals.
Yeah.
A complete individual within himself with the right to think and the right to act.
Yeah.
So what's important for us is just we show them the path, which path to take. Because with true love at home, then they understand what true love is. So they don't, they will not go outside and look for that true love. And in the end, they falls into the traps of friends, thinking that, okay, this is true love. So in that way, they land into so many problems and, maybe in the wrong path.
Yeah.
So what we have from home now, if we teach them those values, so if we let them out to the world, they know exactly what to take. So I think that is one thing which builds up the confidence.
Absolutely.
And also another thing is that what I feel at home, what we can do, as parents, both parents, the mother and the father, it's important that we build, the physical and then the mental, the confidence, as well as the spiritual confidence. So even if you have, the physical well-being and the mental well-being, but if you lack the spiritual well-being, like what Mahatma Gandhi talks about, the overall development of a child. So I think, the role of me as a mother, okay, the father is there, he is there, he is teaching them, taking them to church and all, but me being very close to them as we cook together. So that is a time when, I built them, like blocks by blocks.
Absolutely,
bit
yeah,
by bit.
yeah. Because Rilang, you would also say that you have younger kids, of course, and you include them in every of your activity, show them, guide them, tell them things to do. Because kids, I remember during my time, my daughter used to be behind the curtain, and every time, whatever little makeup I used to do, she used to observe it, and then slowly she would come forward, and she knew exactly which is after which.
Exactly.
So she would give me my kajal first, and then the mascara maybe, then the lipstick she would find. She knew exactly, because they are keen observers.
Yes.
They observe every step of what we do. Does it sometimes therefore make it difficult for a mother, because we have to play the right role, we
Very
cannot
much,
go
yes.
wrong, and so sometimes it does it bother us, and makes a bit difficult for us?
I think for me it starts, of course at home when you're cooking, he wants to cook, so he'll come and stand with me. "No, you're too small for that." Like, no, but I want to learn.
Okay.
So he's turning 10 next month, but so he's growing. So now I'll cook by myself. So he started, making small things like make tea for us or make Maggie and all like that. So he'll do all those things. But yeah, there are other things, like, especially when you're working. So I'll sit in my laptop and no, I want to also come and see, what are you doing? How are you doing this? Why are you doing like that? So he'll have all those questions. Of course, those are things like that. But then it's nice that I feel like it's nice that they want to know what we do and how we do things. But then it's also, we also have to be very conscious of what we show in front of them, because we also like, for me, I think all mothers will feel the same. We still also are us, and we still also, you know, have our lives with this, you know, yes, we are mothers, but then we are still individuals, and we still have our own things that we like to do. So sometimes I'll be on the phone scrolling through some videos, and what is that? I was like, that's not for you. These are like, you know, I have to make sure.
Yeah, so there should be boundaries, right?
Yeah,
that is so important, ma'am Monideepa, right? Because, you know, boundaries should be there for children. You know, I've seen some mothers who over love, you know, show so much, give everything. I mean, the child will roll in the carpet and, you know, grab every toy in the, I want this, I want that. So of course there is no handbook, as I said, for being a right mother or a wrong mother. I mean, there is no such thing. But then how much is too much? Where do we draw the line for our kids?
I think a mother knows where to draw the line. Except for some who give in to their children. But I think we sort of know where to draw the line, and we know when children are manipulating us, and they'll throw a temper tantrum and, you know, insist that they'll have to have that toy or something that they want to, and you know it's not good for them. But I think in time you learn to balance, and they learn to. They pick up very well. So if you let yourself be manipulated once, then they'll know how to do it again.
Right.
They know the tricks.
They know the
They know
tricks.
the tricks.
They
They know
learn
exactly
very
where to
well.
pull.
Yes.
They know that string very well.
So this becomes easier if you hold your ground and you sort of teach them the right from the wrong, and then they pick up gradually. Like, I have a grown-up son now, and when they were children, when he was a child, there were very set chores that we had him do. And at the time of the pandemic, when he was not here, but you know, when they had to do everything on their own, that's the time when he'd call up, he'd say, "Thank you, Ma, for having taught me all that, because now we have to manage on our own, and we have to cook and clean and keep house and do everything, and I can do all that because you taught me at that time." So I think we should be, and we should not make any distinction between girls and boys.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
I think most modern day parents are not doing that. I think they are not doing that. But I come to another point, because, you know, has the role of mother changed with the changing times? Because today we are a very tax savvy, you know, generation. In my time, I did not have the mobile. I got the mobile very late. But today's young mothers, you know, they have the mobile phones, and so do their kids. So therefore, Carolyn, do you feel the role of mother also has changed with the time, with the technologically aided, you know, life that we lead, the lifestyle that we have?
Absolutely, absolutely. Like, we talk about technology, how technology has impacted our lives. You know, it's very unconscious. We don't realize how much time we spend on the phone. And that is exactly what we're teaching our kids. So therefore, and also many a times you find that, you know, to make myself happy and to feel that as a mother, you know, I'm doing the best way I could, buy him the gadget. Today, you know, I'm gonna need, you know, the Samsung. Tomorrow I'm gonna need the iPhone, and next I'm gonna need the iPad. So I mean, like, we keep on feeding, we keep on feeding, and we keep on feeding till they come to a point that, you know, they have become slaves to machine. They have become slaves to machine. And now when we talk about machine learning, it is machine learning the human beings. It's no longer the human beings learning the machines. So, you know, as parents at home, we have to see that has, like you talk about, you know, the line where do you draw the line. So when we talk about machines, we have to tell them, like at least for me, I tell my son, this time to this time. Otherwise, no, not even a second more. Not even a second more.
Right.
So, you know, we have to draw the line. And talking about the roles, again, coming back to your point, ma'am, here. So you were talking about, you know, what I see with us, you know, mothers, we tend to be, you know, too caring. And we feel, there is a feeling that if my son does it, if my husband does it, no, I have to do it. It has to be perfect. That, you know, has to change. So we have to change the roles. Like when you talk about the gender roles, from home we have to teach. From home we have to teach. So, you know, and also as a mother, we have to feel that let them do also. Let them do. It's not only me who is perfect, who can do everything.
Yeah.
So the moment we let that, then I think, roles will change.
Yeah,
Yes,
right. That's very, very true. I know the gender roles need to be taught by both the parents,
Absolutely.
right from childhood, right from
course.
when the child is a toddler, I suppose, But then often I have seen, and perhaps we all will all agree, that we often forget our own self. A mother sacrifices so much, does so much. She's the last one to eat the meal, the first one to get up in the morning. Why? I mean, we are also individuals. So, I mean, I ask this question to all three of you. Do we forget our own self sometimes because we want to be the perfect mother, to uphold our family, to put in everything, every little, value and effort to make the best family? Are mothers forgetting themselves? Ma'am Monideepa.
To an extent, yes. We drive ourselves.
Yeah, but that's wrong, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But then I think that's the heart and so full of love that a mother has, that she wants everything to be perfect for her children, her family members, her home, her workplace must not suffer. But it comes at a cost. I think we sometimes forget ourselves
Right.
in the whole process.
Yeah.
And we only realize this when the damage has been done. And
And the expectation then becomes, then every
Yes.
member of the family expects that from you. Yeah?
true.
Yeah, so we push ourselves so much behind that we suddenly don't like the cake anymore, because there's no more
Peace for us.
Yeah, for us, right? So having said so, this is another important question. Quick word I want to have from you. Why do we have old age homes? If children have learned the values from us and we have been good mothers and played our roles right, do we really need to have, should there be any old age home where often children modern day times they're sending away their mothers or any of their parent or both their parents away to old age homes? Quick word on that.
To be honest, I have no answer for that.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for that.
But that's a sad
Because
reality.
it's very
yeah?
sad. It's
In
very
modern
sad.
city days.
The way
yeah?
how we're being taught. I remember my grandmother when she was very old. My mom was there, giving her, feeding her, bathing her, everything. Then till the time when my mom passed away, she was sick in the hospital. I was there for her. So I expect the same, but then my daughter will be there for me. Do not be doing everything for me, but then be there for me. So as a friend maybe. But to be sent off to the old age home, oh my God, I dread.
Yeah. I feel like for me, because I have only one child, so I want him to experience life and I want him to have the world and I want him to. So I always tell him, like, there'll come a time when you leave me. He'll be like, no, I'll never leave you and all. Like, but there will come I want him. I don't know. For me, I feel like even though I'm the youngest, but then my parents are no more, so I don't really have that burden on me to take care of anyone. Even though I have elder sisters, so I might have to take care of them. But like, I want my son to experience all that. For me, I wouldn't mind if I have to. I wouldn't want him to like cut his life short or be burdened with the fact that he has to be wherever he is. If he's here, well and good. If he's still staying with me and has his family here, well and good. He can come take care of me. But if he doesn't, if he has a life somewhere else,
Then you cannot do anything.
then I don't want him to feel like, oh, I have to go back, to wherever my mother is and put my life on hold and take care of me.
Yeah,
I don't want him.
This is what you are saying in the present situation. But life changes.
Life changes.
Life changes.
Exactly.
What will happen to you tomorrow?
Yes.
None of us.
Exactly.
What will happen for
Exactly.
each
He might
one of
not
us
want to
tomorrow,
leave.
Exactly.
We don't know really. But then at the end of the day, we don't want old age homes. We want children to uphold the values,
Yes.
What mothers give, what the parents give, what the entire family gives, because our grandparents also grandmom plays a very important and crucial role, and we don't want that at all. And let us continue to uphold the mother, the role, the kind of sacrifices, the commitment, the hard work, the dedication that she, continues to do for our lives to make us be what we have grown up to be. There's always a problem in discussions, and that is time is short.
Time is short.
Yeah, time is short. So unfortunately, such wonderful discussion we had, but then I need to wrap up this discussion today, thanking each one of you. Carolyn, thank you so much for coming to our studio. And Ma'am Monideepa and Reelang also. I wish you all the very best. May you continue to be the most the best mother that you've always been and enjoy your role, and not so enjoy your role also sometimes.
Yes.
Okay, so all right, so my dear friends, that's how the discussion went, and I'm sure many of you who are watching, the youngsters, the kids especially, in case you are watching, I think it is also important, if mothers are taking care of you, at the end of the day, there will be a time when you also will need to take care of your parents, of your mother. Make sure you also do that role just the way your mother does it for you, or is doing for you at this very moment. You know, Abraham Lincoln had once said, "All that I am today and I hope to be, I owe it to my mother." So, on that note, with this quote from Abraham Lincoln, I leave you behind with lots of thoughts, I'm sure, as to how special your mom is. Continue to uphold her and love her, because she is a beautiful person. From all of us here, from all the mothers here, to all the mothers out there, and to everybody who has watched this program, goodbye.